Right, good afternoon everyone, welcome back to the channel, welcome back to another video. Today I'm bringing you for the first time in quite a while an actual modification video, if you could call it that, but it's something that I've had in my shed for a little while now, and I figured that it's quite a nice day today. Today we're going to be working on my Mark IV Astra. For those that may not have seen it, I did a whole series where I bought it with a blown head gasket, rebuilt the whole engine, and did a few other bits like cosmetic stuff to it as well, and it was like a whole project. There's a playlist that I'll leave in the description down below if you haven't watched it yet. I recommend you do. There's quite a lot of in-depth information in there, and you can possibly learn quite a lot from that playlist, so I'll leave it down below if you want to check it out. But ever since the car was finished, I haven't really done that much to it when it comes to sort of modifications. I'll be completely honest with you, for the Astra Mark IVs, there's not really that much that you can do to them, and you can overdo it as well. I didn't want to go too crazy with the car. I kind of wanted it to be like a OEM plus spec, like a GSI replica sort of thing, and that's the way it looks, and I'm actually quite happy with the outside of the car. I'm happy with the way it looks, all the body panels, all that sort of thing. I'm pretty happy with the overall look of the car. So I have been struggling to try and find modifications for the Astra Mark IV to actually do and make videos on for you lot. Now, as you do, I found myself browsing on eBay. What I did was I searched for Astra Mark IV modifications and just sort of went down the pages looking for different bits and pieces that you can do to these cars, and I came across this. This is a strut bar for a Astra Mark IV. It was advertised as the GSI, but the body shell is exactly the same on the GSI as it is to every other model Mark IV Astra, so I figured that this is going to fit absolutely fine. I shouldn't have any problems, I don't think. I saw it as a bidding post on there, and it was starting bid was £40, so I thought what I'd do is I'd stick £40 on it. If I won it, I win. If I don't, then it's not the end of the world. And this was about a month ago now. After putting down a £40 bid, I received a notification 3 days later to say that I'd actually won it for £40. Nobody else seemed to have bid. I was the only one that decided to actually go for it. You can pick these things up on eBay still, but I don't think there's actually a UK manufacturer. I think they're all imported from Poland, I think it is. There's loads of other ones listed on there, but they are all in Poland or somewhere else in Europe. I can't quite remember where it was. But this one was actually a UK seller, he must have bought it, never used it because it was still in the original box, wherever that is. As you saw, it was all in the wrapping, and it's all brand new, never been fitted to the car. And then, as I said, I got this for 40 quid, which I think is not bad really. Now I'll quickly just address one thing, because I know someone's going to say it in the comments. Strut braces are more designed for race cars, track cars, cars that are going to be going around corners quickly. That is what these are for. They're made to stiffen up the chassis of a car so that it can go around a corner flatter and minimize body roll. I think that's what they're mainly used for. The reason I'm fitting one today is not because this Astra is going to be making it to any sort of track. I don't think this car will ever see a track day in its life. It's more of an aesthetic thing. It's got an aluminium finish to it, which I think will look quite nice in the engine bay, and again, just an aesthetic thing. It's just something that I think will look quite nice. I'm not expecting to see any sort of performance upgrades from this, just because I'm not going to be going around corners stupidly quick. The Astra is actually pretty good at going around corners as it is, so I'm not looking to get any performance upgrades out of it. It's more of an aesthetic thing, so I just thought I'd put that out there. So as I said, as you can see, it's got like a bare aluminium finish. It weighs like absolutely nothing. It's so light. It's got adjustments, so you can adjust the height of the bar here, you can adjust the length. So I don't know if this is a universal one or not, but it was advertised as a Astra Mark IV one, so hopefully this is going to fit. Right, so I'm going to go ahead and get the Astra into the driveway. We'll get the bonnet up, have a look what we need to remove to be able to fit this thing, and hopefully this thing fits in the car all right. Right, so I'll be honest, upon opening the bonnet, I'm already a little bit concerned because on the strut brace there's holes to put bolts in, and obviously on this there's none at all. It's just got the top mount bolt right there, so I don't know how this is actually going to work. I guess I'll bring it out here and do a test fit. Right, so this is the dilemma I'm already coming across. This is the first hurdle, is these are the pieces that are going to sit on top of the strut. So I've taken one of them off the actual bar, just so I can play around with it and see how it's supposed to go. As you can see, we've got these two lugs, this one here with a hole which looks like it's supposed to have a bolt in it. Now I wasn't supplied any bolts, but that's not a problem, I can find some bolts. However, on the strut top itself, there's not actually anywhere for bolts to go. There's no holes, there's no existing bolt holes already. Now that sits on there nicely, but how's it supposed to attach? I don't quite understand. Now I could take this strut top mount thing off, but the gap between that, I don't think this is going to sit in there very well. This is going to like flop about, it's not going to be tight, it's going to move about, and that is not really any good. That sort of defeats the purpose of having a strut brace in the first place. So I'm a little stuck. I don't really know what the answer is here. Right, so it took 5 minutes just to jump on Google quickly, do a little quick search to see if I could find any pictures of how people have mounted these on their cars. Turns out that from what I've found, there's a little bit more work involved into this than I first thought. Obviously with the bolt holes being there, the little tabs on there with the holes, you're actually supposed to, from what I can gather, drill into the strut top mounts, either self-tap them or put like a nut and bolt through and washers in order to mount it. Now that is more work than I planned to do today, to be completely honest with you. I figured it was just going to be a straight bolt on job, but it turns out it's not. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to test fit it. I'm going to take the top mounts off, put it in position, and then put the top mounts back on. And then I don't know if I've got any bolts. I'm going to have a look in my shed. I don't know if I've got 4 of the same bolts. If I have, I will go ahead and drill the holes and bolt it in. If I haven't, then this video may have to continue, or I may have to do another video another time properly mounting this in. Now, as I said at the beginning of the video, this strut brace is not for performance purposes. This is not going to, I'm not looking for this to help me around corners or anything like that, at least for now. So I'm not too worried about it being like 100% securely mounted in there before people say that it's like a bodge job or whatever. I'm going to do a test mount, just make sure that the actual bonnet shuts as well, because I'm worried that this part along here is not actually going to shut once the boot is shut, because this does stick up quite a bit over the engine. So I'll get it in position where it's actually going to be mounted, shut the bonnet, make sure the bonnet shuts, and make sure that the holes and everything line up, and then if I can, I will drill the holes and we'll bolt it in properly as well. So these things off, 2 18mm bolts, one there and obviously one the other side. This little black plate here will pop off, and then I can put this underneath it, put that back on top, bolt it on, and hopefully we can just make sure that it all actually fits in there properly to begin with. Now I should probably also point out, some of you may be concerned that I'm taking this off whilst the car's not jacked up in the air. It's not a problem. The weight of the car sitting on the wheel, the strut's going to be pushed up into this. That's not going anywhere. It's not going to move or like drop out or anything like that. It's perfectly fine how it is. Right, let's give this a quick little test fit. See how we're looking. So this is exactly why I'm doing this right now, before I drill any holes or anything. You see we're already catching on this little fuse box here, which is a concern. I'm not sure whether the bar, because it's not completely straight, it sort of bends out this way a little bit. I'm not sure if that's supposed to be at the back or the front. I don't think it will really make that much of a difference, and I don't even know if it will fit the other way around. Maybe we should try it. Right, so I tried it the other way around, still doesn't fit. This is definitely in the way. I'm not sure if they expect you to relocate this. That looks like that's what I'm going to have to do. I don't really know what I'm going to do with it. Just take it off as mounts maybe and drop it down and cable tie it. I don't really know, but I do need to relocate it because it's just in the way. It's just, I don't know how they ever expect you to get it on with that sitting right there. Right, I managed to dislodge the fuse box from its mount, and it's now just on the squiff a little bit. You can see I've tilted it forward just so it's out of the way of the strut bar, and the strut bar actually now fits in there really nicely. It's not too high, it just clears this fuse box right here, or the relay box should I say, comes across and then fits really nicely the other side as well. So as a cosmetic piece, it actually looks really cool in there. I'm going to go ahead and put the top mounts back on now, these things, and see if we can get these to fit. They just about fit in there, just about. We'll get them bolted down and we'll see how sturdy it is once they're on. Right, so I've got them tightened down, and on the sides of them you can see we've got a little bit of movement still. I don't know how you're supposed to bolt them down, because you can see the little tabs, they don't sit flush on there. I don't know if you'd have to bend them down or what the deal would be, but those welds would probably snap, I'd imagine. If you tried to bend that in, I'd imagine it would snap there. So I don't really know how you're supposed to get this to fit properly, but I'm going to go ahead and tighten these bolts, the ones that allow you to move the strut bar up and down. Give them a tighten down, and then we'll see where we are. This one was almost vertical, look at that. How much space is under there. How are you supposed to bolt that down? Right, so that is as fitted as it's going to be for right now. There's obviously still wobble in it, it's not completely in there. I'll just give it a shake so you can see, hopefully you can see it on the camera. There's sort of 3mm of play in that. It's not tight, it's not going to give me any sort of performance as of right now, because it's not going to tighten up the chassis at all up here, just because of that play in there. However, it does look quite cool, I've got to admit. If you look at the sort of engine bay from here, it does look like quite a cool little piece. Nice shiny aluminium bar at the back there. And again, cosmetic was the main purpose of this. It's not for performance at all. I have to reiterate that, because people will point it out otherwise. Not bad at all. Right, I think I'm going to wrap up under the bonnet, just because there's not really a lot else I can do. Like I said, I'm going to look into potentially getting those bolts fitted, because I would like this to be sturdy in there. However, I ain't got a clue how I'm going to get that bent down enough to drill through this and put a bolt through it without snapping that weld. That weld is just going to crack as soon as you try and push down on that. In fact, it's solid anyway, so you'd probably have to get it ground off and re-welded on in like a different orientation. It's the same with all of them really. None of them are in the correct position. You can see gap under there, gap under there. Just goes to show that this is a cheap piece. It's not made very well, and considering it was advertised that it's for this car, it doesn't really fit particularly great. So there you go, that's that. Now I know this is not very exciting, but this is something I didn't actually show. I just put it on one day. I actually got a battery cover. These are quite rare to get hold of now for some reason for these Mark IVs. I've got a battery cover so that I can keep it warm during the winter. It's like nice and padded, quilted, so it should keep the battery away from the cold elements a little bit more than if it didn't have one at all. So, and it also makes the engine bay look a little bit tidier, I think, because you can't see the ugly battery there. Nothing else new with this thing though, I don't think. That's kind of about where we are. I did, however, go ahead and buy a pair of these. You may know what these are if you're familiar with the Mark IVs, but these come off a GSI model, and they're like little extra spat bits for the rear arches. But this one, I bought them cheap, but I bought them cheap because this one's broken. You can see it's missing a chunk out of there, and also this one's got a massive crack in it there. So they need fixing before I can put them on, and obviously I haven't got enough time to do that today, but I just wanted to show you them, just to show you that these will be coming soon. You'll see these fitted. I'm going to have to fix them, paint them, and pretty much redo them completely, but they'll look good once they're on. I'll quickly show you what they look like on the car. So as you know, I've got the GSI side skirts on, and these are like a little extension for that, so they sit right where the extension sort of finishes, about there. And that's kind of how they look. They're like a little extra flare piece. I think they look quite smart, and you can see how well they fit because they are proper actual GSI ones, so they are made for this car, so they fit pretty damn nice. So once they get fitted on there, I'll obviously have to tiger seal them on. You can see where they've been tiger sealed on before. Once I get them fixed up, I'll get them put on the car as well, and they'll look pretty sweet. This thing needs a clean, man. See all that grot? Ugh. Gonna have to get our Yum Cars stuff out, I think, at some point and give this a proper clean. The wheels are so dirty, they look gunmetal grey at the moment. Right, I also don't know if I mentioned, but because I haven't filmed a video on the Astra for a while, so I probably haven't mentioned it, but the Astra actually passed its MOT, I want to say it was like 4 weeks ago, December the 2nd I think it was, or December the 3rd. Passed its MOT straight through. Did have a few advisories, but they were just the brakes. Apparently the rear and the front ones are just a little bit out of balance. Not bad enough to fail the MOT, but a little bit out of balance, so I'll have to look at that. I've actually got a new pair of calipers to put on the back of it, which are actually in this box right here. I'll just quickly show you these. The current calipers I've got on there, I don't know the brand, but they're not the good ones. These are the good ones that you can get, and these are the Lucas calipers, I believe. Let me just look for the brand on them. Yeah, Lucas, they say it in there, you probably can't see it. They say Lucas. And these are meant to be the good GSI calipers for the rear. The ones I've got on the car at the moment are supposed to be the ones that have problems. And funnily enough, I have actually been having problems with them, not just on the MOT, but they also make a clonking noise. The caliper is not tight. It is tight, but the bolts are tight, but the caliper is not tight to the carrier. And so it knocks. Whenever you go over a bump, you can hear doo-doo, doo-doo, on the driver's side rear one. So I'm going to get these refurbished. I've got a refurbishment kit as well, 2 of these, to refurbish both of the calipers, put all new seals in them, I might even get them powder coated just to make them nice and pretty. And I think that's kind of it. That's probably where I'm going to end it. I apologise again. The videos are not up to the quality that I would usually like them, but I'm sure most of you can probably relate that money is scarce this time of year, so you just got to prioritise the things that you got to prioritise. That's the way it is. But as soon as the new year comes, I actually want to get my teeth back into a project like I used to. I want to bring back the Savage Garage how it was when it was great back in the day, when I was doing my Corsa 1.8 project and all those projects that I was doing. I want to bring that back, because these little small videos, they're really not me, they're not my taste, and I don't really enjoy watching them, but I haven't really got much of a choice at the moment. It's just as soon as I've got money back in my pocket and the space in my driveway to do so, the projects are going to start rolling in again. I really want to get my teeth into something. I appreciate that you guys are putting up with the nitty-gritty, sometimes boring installs and stuff like that, but as I said, that's the way it is. I hope you guys enjoyed the video nonetheless. Make sure you give it a thumbs up if you did. Make sure you subscribe for future content. And if this is the last video that I upload before Christmas, Merry Christmas to you all. I appreciate all your support this year. It's been fantastic. There's a lot of great people that watch my content, and I do appreciate it. So Merry Christmas to you all, and to all your families, Happy New Year. And I'll see you guys very soon for another video.